So, speaking of badasses, how did I become one? I had an interesting encounter at the gym today that made me think of this. Just so you know, when I go to the gym, I'm all business. Now, there's people there that say hi to me regularly, which I respond, but I'm not Little Miss, extroverted. How's everybody doing? What's going on? What's everyone? No, that's not me. I am there, headphones on, business. So I was sitting there doing some rows, working my back, and this guy, like, I'd seen him there for many times and for quite a while. Never thought anything of it, like always, but he seemed to be more interested today. You know, when they're kind of like messing with their earbuds, like they're trying to, get your attention, taking it out, let you know that they want to say something kind of thing. So I picked up on this and took mine out too. And he's standing there and he looks at me and he goes, "You look so badass." And I'm just, when people say stuff to me, it catches me off guard. You think that, but yeah, it just catches me off guard and I'm just kind of like, in my head, I'm thinking, okay, but he continues to say, "Did you do this on purpose?" Again, totally caught off guard. And I'm thinking to myself, did I look badass on purpose? I mean, what kind of a response? There's only seconds to respond, and I said, well, I mean, I was just, it is what it is. It just kind of happened, and I thought to myself, what did happen? But he just kind of does the whole, I've seen you forever, you look really badass. So I was like, well, thank you. I mean, this dude is, pretty jacked. He looks pretty good. I don't, no idea how old he is. I'm sure he's younger than me because they usually are. But, I was just like, oh, thank you. That means a lot, especially coming from, someone like you. And I'm sure that, he enjoyed hearing that. But it was just kind of like, what do we do? And me, I just, I asked him, what his name was, since, he made the effort to, I don't know, make conversation, I don't know. So we exchanged names, and I just kind of like, well, thank you, kind of like getting back to work because that's why I'm there. But I'm still thinking to myself, did I do that? Meaning become a did I intentionally? Let's go back, well, a couple decades. I was that weird girl in high school. I said blunt things. People looked at me because I said random shit. They called me weird all the time. I was kind of pudgy. Uh, so when I got into fitness and bodybuilding, yeah, my goal was just to build as much muscle as I could, which really at the time I was looking pretty skinny. Once I started building, like, I became addicted to it. Became addicted to the high of the, adrenaline, the endorphins, all of that. And then a really good friend of mine was like, you should come, bust tires over at Sam's Club. Like, it'll be, right up your alley. You're super strong, because she'd seen me work out. So I was like, okay. And after being there for a while, I mean, it's a small town. You see people from the gym, you see people. And there was this girl who I was kind of friends with. And she saw me, in my uniform, whatever. And she just kind of looked at me and shook her head. She's like, you are such a badass. And that was the beginning of it all. Because I really wasn't thinking about, I never called myself a badass. I was just doing my thing. I had a little bit of scarification, a little bit of body modification. I had a little bit of tattoos, nowhere near what we're seeing now. But I was just doing me, I was just finding myself. I was just, figuring out how to be comfortable in my skin. Was there ever a time in my life where I was like, I'm gonna be so badass? No. It never occurred that that word would be put with me ever. And the more I kept doing my thing, I mean, at this point, MySpace was gone and Facebook was up and coming. And of course, I was on there, and I was doing photo shoots and modeling and trying to make it as an alternative model. and doing a lot of badass photo shoots and stuff. And I was just like, just just doing my thing, not thinking about what I am to other people. But the more I put myself out there, the more I, posted pictures from the photo shoots, the more I did my own photo shoots, the more I just kind of was just doing my thing, the more other people would comment, wow, you're so badass. And I just thought that was funny because, again, I was just, finding myself. Never really, thought that I'd find the badass inside of me. I guess the funny thing is just how people perceive us, how people, you know, like they see you and, people are going to say what they're going to say. Some people are going to hate. Some people are not. Some people are going to be really impressed. And there's going to be people who get to know you because they see you at the gym. They see you how you work out. They see you at your job. They see you how you're doing at your job. And here we are, like 20 years later. Strange encounter at the gym. Uh, and I gotta say, I mean, it felt good because being in my 40s, with these guys that are in their 20s at the gym, well, it felt good. But even more funny is that when I was done with my workout and I was getting ready to go do some red light therapy, this other guy who, again, someone I acknowledge whenever I see him, we've never really talked that much, but he came over and was like, look, I just gotta tell you, you're back. I can't believe how developed it is. Like, it seems like, and it's just funny because those of us who are hardcore, like, gym rats, those of us who made this, who we are, part of our lives, our harshest critics when it comes to our bodies, Um, and so to have him, who he's an aspiring bodybuilder, to say that was, again, it was just like, wow, thank you. It was just kind of like, what? I guess I should, give myself more credit, you know, than looking at myself and thinking, oh, is this okay? Like, are we getting smaller? Are we getting bigger here? Just all the bullshit that we do when we're our worst critics. That being said, you never know who you will inspire. You never know who is looking at you, who's watching at you, and who is admiring you. But the biggest thing I can say to do is to just keep finding yourself, keep working on yourself, keep building, yourself into the best version of yourself you can be. Don't let, little things get you down. Don't let age get you down. Don't let, other people that you might compare yourself to get you down. Because nothing good can come from putting yourself down or even, letting others put you down. Kind of wonder though, will anything come from that encounter with this guy? Maybe. Who knows? But it felt good to have one of the gym bros who, again, someone who's pretty jacked, and you see these guys in these groups and stuff. Again, I'm just kind of doing my thing, but as a woman, it's always great to get to, props from these jacked gym bros who take it seriously too and who respect you. That's the biggest thing right there, is the respect. So that's the story of my badass journey.